A very good evening to you. Thanks for your time. What is your worry here?
Good evening. So, I guess we're grateful that these revelations have been made because it shone a light on what I guess all of us have known for a long time, that there's a lot of money sloshing around in politics. And I think we've all been sort of surprised by the extent of the cost attached to an internal political election battle. But it comes at the right time, given that we've just passed the Political Party Funding Act, and it points to some of the kinds of information that we will be expecting to have access to going forward when that act is implemented. So that's the one thing. I guess it's the positive side to this situation. But we are a little bit concerned also about how this battle between the presidency and the public protector, or the president and the public protector, has been unfolding, and in the way that these revelations have been coming into the public domain, and whether that may in fact undermine the integrity of both the Chapter 9 institution, the Public Protector's Office, and the Office of the Presidency. And for our constitutional democracy, we need those institutions to be solid and strong.
Khalib, if I
We've
can
had
just
7 wasted years of hollowing out of our institutions.
If I can just jump in there, what about the way in which this information has come to light concerns you?
So we've had some leaks of information. If one goes by the press reports, there have been leaked emails of information that had been submitted to the public protector. And so the process of that investigation means that there's information that the public protector also needs to keep confidential. She's legislated both by her own act and the Protection of Personal Information Act to safeguard that information. The leaking of information that's properly before a court also calls into question what the motive or intention behind the leaks are. As the Right to Know, we support whistleblowers, and we call for people to blow the whistle where there is malfeasance. But here, the issue here is that we have a court process. The documents would ordinarily be available through that. What the intention behind the leaked documents is what is raising the red flag.
What do you think the intention is here?
So there are a whole range of questions have also been raised about how the information itself was obtained, because the report seemingly doesn't explain whether the matter was, that information was gotten in terms of a subpoena, etc., etc. So was it properly obtained? If it's improperly obtained, then a court is not going to consider that just in terms of the rules of evidence. And so one way to get the information out would be through leaking, etc., etc. So I think, Yuveka, part of the challenge for us is that it feels like the public is being drawn into the internal squabblings, the factional political battles that are also being taken into the court arena now. And I'm wondering whether we're being distracted by this political fight and being led down a particular path. What we say in our statement is that we welcome these revelations, but it's not the full picture, because we're only seeing one candidate's donations. We haven't seen actually how much that election cost the ANC to pursue.
Okay, so you're concerned that this is particularly targeted at the president.
That's what it feels like. And so without information, for example, to compare the Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma campaign and those donors, for example, we really don't have the full picture. And so we're making judgments in terms of the campaign and the amounts of money, etc., on very limited information, and that's a danger.
Okay, so Khalib, just so we're clear, you're not averse or against information coming out, because you are right to know. You want the South African public, you believe that they should know everything that happens when it comes to funding, when it comes to money that goes to certain campaigns, but you are concerned that the information being leaked is meant to manipulate the South African public at the moment. Am I reading that correctly?
Absolutely. We've got the Public Party Funding Act now that will make it mandatory for political parties to reveal the sources of their donations over 100,000 Rand per annum. So we've welcomed that. I think that's a very positive step in the right direction. What we've seen is we've lifted the cover under just how much money has been spent in the past. Also, in these both internal battles, but also in the elections, the, national, provincial, local government elections. So we would want more transparency, given also that we've got local government elections coming up in about 18 months' time.
Yeah. All right, and I mean, Khalib, just a very general question, because like you say, I mean, this is possibly a game that we're being caught up in, and, you know, who the players are exactly, I believe the truth will come out at some point, whether it's 10 days or 10 years from now. But in your general call for transparency, I want to know, are you convinced that our political parties are actually capable here in South Africa of that kind of honesty?
Well, the Act will require that of them. But laws are only as good, you know, where there's a law, someone will try and find a loophole. That's the way the legal system works, unfortunately. So it's important that we have a strong regulatory framework that will get us, as the public, who have an interest in the financial doings of these private organizations called political parties. We need a regulatory framework that's robust enough to at least give us some inkling into who's bankrolling their activities. Okay. And who, therefore, is seeking influence. Okay,
Khalib, well, I have a feeling we'll be chatting again soon. Who knows what the next week will bring. It is a case of a tangled web, which hopefully will untangle before us. Thank you very much. Right to Nose, Khalib Galant in Cape Town there.